Welcome to the August synopsis of the Insurance Research Letter Live. Featured articles this month include Arson Myths, Debunked by Science by Dr. Andy Clarkson of the national forensic engineering firm ARCA. And staying with our continued Brexit coverage, Jeffrey Manners presents his personal and scholarly view that the European project will continue regardless of Brexit. Also, for those companies with physical assets in the United Kingdom, Duff & Phelps' Rebecca Fuller writes about how the biggest change to English insurance law in over 100 years will affect insurance and reinsurance contracts, and will your valuations satisfy the new Insurance Act? This month's audio presentation focuses on Britain's exit from the EU, Brexit and Insurance, a political solution to an economic problem by George Worsley. It's brought to you by the Insurance Research Letter and Lisa Dominique. The UK government is hiring top lawyers at £5,000 a day to provide expertise in getting Britain out of the European Union. Article 50 of the Lisbon Treaty on European Union binding all 28 countries, when triggered, will give the UK 2 years before the country will be deemed to have left the EU. But it'll take many more years than that before all of the intricacies will have been identified and settled. Perhaps a decade, some people are now saying. The total bill could exceed £5 billion. Some of this money will go to smoothing the way for unwanted Brussels diktats like EU inspectors visiting British farms and controversial fishing quotas. Most of the money, however, will be spent on keeping access to the single market and restricting the freedom of movement. While some EU commissioners and country leaders have said that access to the single market is only for EU members, it has to be pointed out that as the EU's second largest economy, with gazillions going backwards and forwards, any EU rule restricting the flow of UK goods and services going into the EU will be countered by similar ones from Britain on any EU goods and services coming into this country. It's not easy getting across the border between Austria and Hungary, and so there's already a precedent within the EU on border controls. On the day after the referendum, the chairman of Lloyd's said, quote, "I am confident that Lloyd's will stay at the center of the global specialist insurance and reinsurance sector, and I look forward to continuing our valuable relationship with our European partners. For the next 2 years, our business is unchanged. Lloyd's has a well-prepared contingency plan in place, and Lloyd's will be fully equipped to operate in the new environment." End quote. What he did not say was how much will putting the contingency plan into action cost, nor who would pay for it. He may know. I don't. It is to be hoped that some of the £5,000 a day yahoos from the big law and management consulting firms know how to spell the word insurance. And equally that the unquestioned skills, knowledge, and expertise in the Lloyd's and London market will be utilized to the full, and not as an afterthought. Many of the EU directives on insurance, reinsurance, intermediaries, and more have benefited everybody. Okay, Solvency II could be an exception, and any deal Britain makes here could be groundbreaking for others to follow. And a laissez-faire approach such as, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, may just work out. This is not a naive thought when you consider that the EU and its members will also have to invest billions in negotiating with Britain if our guys don't just roll over and let their tummy get tickled. One major commentary on Brexit has identified 5 things one needs to know about Brexit. 1. Passporting. 2. Solvency II. 3. London as a hub. 4. Mergers and acquisitions. And 5. Intellectual capital. One of the country's broking firms has drawn up a list of 6 things on how Brexit will impact the insurance industry. 1. Reduced returns for insurers could drive up premiums for consumers. 2. Offshore regulated insurers may have to come back on shore. 3. Withdrawal of EU insurers will diminish competition and may drive up premiums. 4. Travel insurance will get more expensive as free health insurance programs across EU borders are scrapped. 5. Demand for redundancy cover may increase. And 6. Gender-specific pricing could return. Add these up, and we have 11 uncertainties. And the lawyers and management consultants will need to grasp every single issue clearly before they advise the respective ministries tasked with handling the Brexit project. The key to all this will be how well the government advisors get on with the people who understand the business. What we don't want are petty rivalries, egos, backstabbing, stealing someone else's thunder, etc., getting in the way of progress. But isn't that what politics is all about? Next, on the Insurance Research Letter Live, Ensuring That You're Insured. Potential Pitfalls for Unwary Cyber Insureds by Judy Selby, Managing Director in BDO Consulting's Technology Advisory Services. Tell Your Kids to Sell Reinsurance by Bruce P. Hefner, a general counsel, attorney at law, and consultant. And next month's featured presentation focuses on workplace violence prevention, identifying behaviors of concern with predictive, actionable intelligence by Karen Masulo, Chief Intelligence Officer at crisis management firm Firestorm.